Hey guys, you're watching the Nice Body series with me, Rob Richards from Muscle and Fitness. And in our three-part series, I'll be taking a look and taking heed from what Michael Hearn said about the three big lifts: bench press, the squat, and the deadlift. Now remember, the reason why we're looking at these is not necessarily to do the powerlifting meet and increase your weight massively. More importantly, this is to be able to add thicker, fuller muscles to our frame. Remember, I'm coming at it from the angle of a physique. So we're going to incorporate all of these different tactics and methods to really help progress our game and improve our physique. So the bench press, probably the cornerstone exercise to help kind of thicken out and grow the chest, and one that everyone always talks about. But first of all, we need to look at the do's and don'ts of the bench press. Now, hand placement is key on this one. You've probably seen a lot of guys in the gym and on videos lift with their elbows out and have this nice kind of relaxed, open grip on the bar, as I'll show you in a second. For adding that weight and being able to maximize the amount of weight we can lift, we need to, first of all, close our thumbs so that we can get a nice firm grip and bring the elbows under. So instead of pushing out like this, you kind of dig those elbows in and really squeeze that chest, pushing from kind of lower back within that chest rather than the arms open. Secondly, feet position. We're going to take a look at this and where the feet are to be positioned on the floor while we're lifting. And thirdly, and this is important as well, your breathing technique and how we lift that kind of hips up away from the bench. This really becomes a full body exercise even though we're focusing on chest. First of all, let's have a look at a don't version of the bench press. Now, that might look like a perfectly acceptable bench press, but there are a number of areas that need to be changed if you're really going to maximize the poundages that you're lifting. First of all, you saw that my hands were wide. Nice and wide over here, that opened up the positioning from my elbows, actually decreasing my strength as I lower that bar down. For the next version, I'm going to show you the do version of the bench press. All of the tips and techniques that we got from Mike in previous videos to incorporate them into the perfect bench press. Secondly, my feet were widespread here. When I need that leverage, when I'm pushing that bar back up, I don't have enough support from my legs to really dig my heels down and lift up. So my legs need to come much closer and further back down on the bench. And thirdly, you see I was bringing the bar down and pretty much bouncing it off my chest. Well, in powerlifting meets, that's not allowed. You need like a small gap, you need to stop short before it touches, at least bounces off the chest. So we're going to incorporate a little bit more control and speed in with that rep. So now let's take a closer look and involve some of those key factors into the bench press. Okay, much better. Feet were further back, my elbows were inwards more and digging down, had a closer locked grip, and also my shoulder blades were squeezed together, which, if you think about it, squeeze my shoulder blades, my chest lifts up, it's a shorter distance for that bar to travel down. Before, my shoulders were rounded off at the top. Full stretch, and then I'm squeezing, I'm not getting all of that tension into the chest area. So those three main factors there can actually help a lot with adding extra weight to your bench press. And it all ends up on the chest. Thicker, fuller, more denser muscles. Enough talking, let's get down to action and actually go through a couple of working sets, progressively adding that weight on and seeing just how much these factors can help with our bench press. And for this, you've got to see the muscles working. So, shirt comes off. I think for our first work set, we need to get close to our maximum 1 rep max. We're going to be doing reps of about 7, 5, 3, and 1. So I think for this one we can add a further 45-pound plate and reach about 80-85% of our maximum. Right, I'd say that's my first work set. Really starting to get into those inner muscle fibers, calling those type 2B fibers to be recruited. It's about 225 pounds there, so a solid 7 reps there. Capable of a few more reps, but I'm not hitting that limit just yet. Remember, powerlifting or bodybuilding, physique training, whichever angle you want to look at it, it's not necessarily about going in there and hitting your heaviest weight first off. Progressively warm up, get those muscle fibers involved. Then towards the end of this exercise, we can go towards our 1 rep max, hit that weight, and then move on with the other supporting exercises. So with that said, let's get a little bit more weight on and keep climbing up, getting stronger and stronger on every work set. One of the trickier things is to remember to keep the elbows tucked in. It's all too easy, especially if you come from a couple of years of training where your elbows are out, to fall back into that routine. So even though I may be able to lift more weight, I've got to remember to stay using that technique, keep those elbows under, and really drive that weight up through my chest, not through the arms. But feeling good, let's keep working up, add a little bit more weight onto the bar. One of the big differences from, I guess, the bodybuilding physique into the powerlifting is that my reps now change. As I add more weight, yes, my reps are coming down. I'm hitting about 7, 5, 3, maybe a 1, and then finishing on more of a 3 or 5. Previously, I'd aim for 8 to 10, even 12 reps, and try and just add more weight on top of that. So it's one of the big differences and challenges that I'm facing incorporating this powerlifting mentality into my normal training routine. So probably 3 reps here. Okay, now I'm starting to get my mindset around that bar, getting that grip on, keeping the elbows under, and really feeling it in my chest as I push the elbows down and out like that, and forcing that contraction. A couple more work sets, and I'm feeling good enough to add even more weight onto the bar, drop down to maybe 2 or 1 rep, and start to get close to my maximum 1 rep max. Alright, so we're up to the big three either side now. Be great if I can get one rep on my own, but I am going to call in a spotter or an assister just to really stand there and help guide me. So this is as much mental as it is brawn and muscle. Okay, Nelly, help me off. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. Stay with me, mama. Okay, so could I have got one rep on my own without a spotter? Maybe, but what if I couldn't? It's the main reason why we bring that spotter in, just to kind of give us that safeguard, to give us everything we've got to go above and beyond and to get that rep out. Not only am I feeling pumped in my chest now, but mentally I'm feeling like I can do it. So last and final work set, I'm going to drop back to about 80-90% of my 1 rep max and go as much as I can, aiming for those 5 reps. That's bench press done.